What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to talk about the verdict in the Jonathan Majors case. Quick rundown for those of you who don't know. Jonathan Majors, he's an actor. He wound up getting into some sort of a domestic dispute with his former girlfriend named Grace Jabari. And the court has finally rendered its verdict, and they found Jonathan Majors guilty of 2 out of the 4 charges. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to read an article from Variety, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on this. By the way, I very recently did a video about this situation. I wasn't expecting to do an update on this video so soon, or an update on this situation so soon, but nevertheless, here we are, and here we go. So the title of the article is Marvel Studios Drops Jonathan Majors Following Guilty Verdict for Harassment and Assault by Adam B. Very. Marvel Studios has parted ways with Jonathan Majors, the actor cast to play Kang, the central antagonist in the multiverse saga of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, after he was convicted on December 18th of 2 misdemeanor counts of harassment and assault of Grace Jabari, his ex-girlfriend. A source close to studio confirmed the decision to Variety. So when I first heard that he got dropped by Marvel, I'm like, dang. Bruh done really fumbled the bag and the career. Because before this, Jonathan Majors, he was on the come up. But let me continue reading this article. In the verdict, Majors was also found not guilty of 1 count of intentional assault in the 3rd degree and 1 count of aggravated harassment in the 2nd degree. So again, there were 4 counts in total. He was found guilty of 2 out of 4 of those counts. Essentially half of the counts he was found guilty of. And the other half, of course, not guilty. The article goes on to give us a little backstory. So here it goes. The actor was arrested on March 25th on assault and harassment charges after Grace Jabari accused Jonathan Majors of assaulting her in the backseat of a private car after she took his phone to read a text message he received from another woman. And of course, people assume that this other woman was someone that Jonathan Majors was talking to, or attempting to talk to in more so like a romantic sexual way. So the article continues. Grace alleged that Jonathan forcefully retrieved his phone from her, causing an excruciating injury to her right middle finger. And when she exited the car, Majors hit her on the back of the head and then tried to force her back into the car, causing a cut behind her right ear. The 34-year-old actor denied he assaulted Grace. Sidebar, I didn't know that Jonathan Majors was 34 years old. And he looked like he about 10 years older. If he was 44, okay, all right. Yeah. That's just my opinion and observation. Let me know what you guys think about that. So, back to the article. Jonathan's defense team has alleged that she was the aggressor when she took his phone. During the nearly 2-week trial, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office released a series of disturbing texts between Majors and Jabari and an audio recording that has been used as evidence, including messages in which Majors seemingly attempted to persuade Jabari against going to the hospital following a head injury, and a message in which Majors threatened to unalive himself. Y'all know what that means. In the audio recording, Majors tells Jabari that she needs to act like Coretta Scott King in Michelle Obama because he's a great man who is, quote unquote, doing great things, not just for me, but for my culture and the community. Well, he said the world. Can we have a quick sidebar to this? Now, I'll give a disclaimer and say that I'm not super familiar with Jonathan Majors and his backstory. But can someone let me know what Jonathan Majors is doing for the community, for the culture, for the world? Because last time I checked, Jonathan Majors was an actor. Maybe he's doing some charity work behind the scenes or something like that, some community outreach I don't know about, but maybe. But as far as I know, what exactly is he doing? Besides getting a paycheck to play pretend and dress up. Again, if someone knows, please let me know in the comment section below. Now, before I get into this next part, I just want to give sort of like a setup, which is Jonathan Majors, of course, he lost the deal with Marvel, but he's also lost a lot more in terms of his opportunities that he had, before this situation happened. And the article is going to give a rundown of that. So here we go with this. Since his arrest, Majors has been dropped by his talent manager, Entertainment 360, and his publicity firm, the lead company. He no longer is involved with the Protagonist Pictures film, quote unquote, The Man in the Basement, The Man in My Basement. The U.S. Army also pulled a major ad campaign featuring Majors, as did the Texas Rangers baseball team. Eesh. Several other projects, including Spike Lee's The Understudy for Amazon and the Dennis Rodman film 48 Hours in Vegas for Lionsgate, remain in limbo. So those are just some of the opportunities that Jonathan Majors has lost or is potentially in jeopardy of losing. And I know somebody gonna be mad that I'm bringing this up, but I'm just gonna do it because I gotta do it. Is this a quote unquote swirling gone wrong story? Now, is this a cautionary tale for black men who swirl now? Is this going to be used as an example of what happens when black men go outside of the community? As well, should Jonathan Majors have chosen better? And of course, I bring this up because, if this was a black woman, essentially Jonathan Majors' black female equivalent in this situation, and it happened to her, of course, this would just be all over black social media as a swirling gone wrong story, and of course being used to fearmonger black women out of, exploring other options outside of the black community. And as well, I've seen some comments on YouTube here and there where it's like some guy or somebody, male or female, will come through and be all like, kind of like, this is what happens when you dabble in the snow, quote unquote, if you feel me, right? And then another person that came through and saying, basically saying, oh, tell that to Tory Lanez. You see what happened to him. And, trying to make a comparison as if both situations are equivalent. For the record, the situation with Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez is not equivalent to the situation with Jonathan Majors and Grace Jabari. They're not. As well, the history between black men and black women versus the history between black men and white women, in the United States at least, is not equivalent. If you want to swirl, cool, do you. but don't make false analogies, especially false analogies at the expense of black women. I'll have more respect for you if you just come out and say, I want to date interracially and I accept the risk that comes with that. Which, again, is your choice, it's your prerogative, do you? But I will say that it's very clear that a lot of these dudes really do suffer from King Kong syndrome, even seeing what they're going through now, what Jonathan Majors is going through now. And by the way, a black woman is by Jonathan Majors' side, riding for him, right? Megan Good. Megan too good for this ish. Megan should be too good for this ish. And a quick sidebar though. Since the verdict came out the way that it did, with Jonathan Majors kind of essentially being convicted of half the charges, do you think Jonathan Majors is going to be sticking around with Megan Good? I'm thinking that they'll probably be together at least for a while. I think so. Because right now, at this moment at least, Jonathan Majors ain't really popping like that. Not like how he was popping before this situation happened. So I think they'll be together probably for a while at least. But I'm still thinking, like, Megan, are you getting paid for this? But then again, Megan Good is the same woman who let Khloe Kardashian put a dog leash on her. I'm not being shady, but I'm just saying. Right. But back to this article. But Marvel's decision to sever ties with the actor registers as the most high-profile professional consequence of Majors' arrest to date. He first played a version of multiverse-hopping villain Kang in the season finale of the 2021 Disney Plus series Loki. And they're just talking a bit more about Jonathan Majors' kind of like place in the Marvel Universe, or rather his former place in the Marvel Universe. But this part is pretty interesting. The career fallout from Majors could have been even more severe. He began 2023 as one of the most in-demand actors in the industry, co-headlining Creed 3 with Michael B. Jordan and earning wide acclaim out of the Sundance Film Festival for his performance in the bodybuilding drama Magazine Dreams. Searchlight Pictures, another Disney subsidiary, picked up the latter film as a prospective awards contender for release in December, but the company quietly pulled the film from its calendar in October. It does not yet have a release date. A new release date. And that's the end of the article. So it's pretty clear that Jonathan has lost out on some opportunities, and at least partially lost his court case. But hey, at least he still got Megan Good. At least Megan's still holding him down. Megan, she riding for him. But, why the sister, Megan, why she gotta get the brother, Jonathan, on the come down rather than the come up? Or rather, when he came up. You know what I mean? It's like Megan didn't get Jonathan when he was at his best, at least career-wise, right? When he had all these great opportunities. And, she also came into his life during not the best situation to come in to. So I really hope that Megan Good can really get the relationship outcome that she desires from Jonathan Majors. And also, where is Megan Good's kudos, for holding a brother down, for riding and dying. Well, she ain't dying, but for riding for Jonathan. But on the other hand, I don't know. It may be good that she ain't getting kudos, because if she does, then some other black women want to imitate her. And like, oh, see, that's how I can get my cane. That's what I'm going to do. Instead of saying the Sierra prayer, I'm going to go out like Megan Good over there and get them while they down. That's how you get your cane right there. When he down and out like a balled up gum wrapper, that's when you scoop in. That's when you swoop in and scoop them up now. And don't let nobody shame you. Don't let nobody shame you out of loving your canes. Because money ain't a thing as long as you got your cane. But considering all that I've read about this case, it's like, whoa. What's next for Jonathan Majors in this case? Where does he go from here? Loneliness up ahead, emptiness behind. Where does he go? I don't know, but I'll tell you where I'm about to go. Offline. So let me bring this video to a close. Thank you very much for watching. Please let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. And until the next video, adios and goodbye for now.